A 2022 ThreadUp report says North America has the fastest growing secondhand apparel market in the world. As WTIU reports, the number of consumers who are open to shopping secondhand for clothes during the pandemic jumped from 67 to 74%.
Participation and interest in the secondhand apparel market has been growing since 2013, and resale is projected to drive market growth. Thrift and donations' role in the market is up too, but remains much steadier. It's something a 2019 IU Fashion and Apparel Design graduate noticed and capitalized on. Daisy May founded her own clothing brand, Rebloomed Design, from secondhand and resourced materials, and runs it from her home studio in Bloomington.
It's based off of feelings of nostalgia, comfort, safety. Those are all things that I look for in the materials that I source that kind of help create garments that carry emotional feeling while also are like made with quality. Oh my gosh, like the way this made me feel was just incredible.
Initially, her business took a hit during the pandemic.
But right now I am selling enough to where I'm sustaining myself, and that's all I want in life. Is like, I don't need this to grow and be bigger and have a million seamstress on my team.
Mainly, she sources quilts, linens, and bed sheets to repurpose into clothes. She sells them online at storefronts in places like New York and locally at the Bloomington Antique Mall.
I think what truly started the secondhand revolution, as I would say, is this mindset where people realized that overconsumption and just continually buying new things that end up falling apart in a year or so wasn't sustainable and wasn't worth the money that individuals were putting into it.
The fast fashion clothing industry is the second most polluting industry behind oil drilling, according to a 2019 University of Minnesota report.
Sourcing is one of the most time-consuming aspects because you never know what you're going to find.
Just west of May's studio is the vintage store Select Stock, founded by Nick Ayala, a 2016 IU Kelley School graduate. The store's original location was on Indiana Avenue, sharing space with Buffalo's in 2018. The business grew and he moved to North Walnut Street.
We were definitely on the cusp of a new type of store in Indiana. There was, similar vintage stores that were curated in, bigger cities like New York and Chicago. But in terms of Indiana, there wasn't much.
He says initially people were confused to see used t-shirts priced at $20 to $30, but curating quality clothes takes time. People bring clothes to his stores to sell. He'll pay sellers upwards of $10 depending on the shirt.
We might give him $100 if it's a super rare shirt.
He opened a store in Boulder, Colorado in 2019 and has a store in East Village, New York too.
I want people to come into this store and, there'll be something for everybody. So they have like a $10 rack in New York, which we have $5 bins in Indiana and Colorado too, which people love. College kids are very thrifty. But having something like that in New York's usually unheard of just because of how expensive it is.
Growth in secondhand apparel has been noted for years, but the pandemic pushed the industry forward as more people opted to clean their closets and took time to resell their own clothes, ThreadUp reported. His storefronts took a hit at the start of the pandemic, but business picked back up as people moved online. But now Ayala says he wants to focus on growing the storefronts.
And definitely more stores in the future. It might be the Midwest, it might be out west, California. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we definitely want to grow the brand a little bit bigger in the U.S. and kind of spread our taste of what we do.
For Indiana News Desk, I'm WTIU.